Figure that I'm on my own, there's no sense for me to quit. What you saying, we don't know, I'm just trying to reach my goals. Heard you snitching, saying that so, you can't hang with me no more. What's up guys, Chris and I'm back with another amazing video, man. Now today, I be swinging my hand around like a sword. Anyway, family secretly films killer, then captures something shocking, man. This is by EWU Crime Storytime, uploaded 3 days ago and already has over 1 million views. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Original video link will be in the description. Don't worry about my headphones. This is about my fifth pair of headphones. I'm gonna get some official headphones like in a couple days, you know what I'm saying? I keep on breaking my headphones. I don't know why. I broke my black one, I broke the black ones, I broke the red ones, and now we got blue and orange ones. So, yeah, we're gonna see what's going on. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it.
What is he doing? What is he taking out?
He's taking off. He has gloves.
He has gloves.
He has gloves
He has
in
gloves.
his hands.
He has gloves.
Gloves and what else?
The blanket.
Oh my God, that is my blanket.
When 19-year-old Mia Marcano goes missing, it isn't the police who uncover the biggest clues about what happened to her, but her family. In fact, it was through their own investigation that they would not only uncover a suspect, but it was Mia's family who, through their own determination, eventually caught the culprit on camera.
Wow.
In 2021, 19-year-old Mia had just started her second year at Valencia College, where she was pursuing an associate in arts degree. She was balancing her education and employment at the Arden Villas apartments in Orlando, some 200 miles away from her close-knit family in Broward County, Florida. She also lived at the same apartments where she worked. Though they didn't know to be concerned at the time, Mia had recently asked several of her family members if they could come to Orlando for the weekend to see her. When no one could, she instead decided to fly home to Fort Lauderdale for a visit. Though her family was excited to have her back home, there was a chilling reason Mia felt like she needed to get away. Not knowing what was about to unfold, her aunt Simone later recalled this.
I felt like it was a call for help when she asked us all to come this weekend and no one couldn't make it. I feel like it was a call for help and I wasn't there for her. I wasn't there for her.
At 5:06 p.m. Friday, September 24th, 2021, Mia sent a text to say she was waiting for the Uber to take her to the airport before she would fly home. After this, she suddenly stopped responding. All calls to her phone went straight to voicemail, and all
I'm recording right now.
text messages said that they weren't delivered. Given that Mia was incredibly close with her family and kept in near constant contact with most of them, they likely noticed something was wrong within mere moments of it happening. However, it wasn't until a few hours later that her family became certain something was amiss. Her grandmother and grandfather later spoke to a police officer and tried to explain her sense of urgency at the time.
I would say about 6 or 6:15. My husband and I left our husband to go out to dinner. I said, strange, Mia hasn't called me. I called, and the phone just said, calling mobile phone. So I figured it was in the area we were in, it was dark. So I called again, same thing. My stomach started to hurt me. I'm not psychic, but I can always tell when something is wrong, because I wouldn't call Mia more than twice, and she'd not answer. Even if she has to say, Mama, I'm doing something. Mama, can I call you right back? So I went to the airport. And I waited and waited and waited, and there was no Mia.
When Mia never got off the plane,
definitely a problem.
It confirmed her family's worst fears. Little did they know things were only going to get more twisted from here. They reported her missing soon after, and one of her family members called 911.
I'm calling to find out if I can have a wellness check, please. For the address? Correct. I just wanted to know if an Uber picked her up or not. And then from then, her phone has been completely shut off or dead. We're not sure. We had a friend go over, but they're knocking the door. Nobody's answering. I just want to make sure that she's not there.
Okay, I mean, I can get a call center for a deputy to go out there, but a deputy is going to do the same thing. He's going to knock on the door, and if no one answers the door, he can't break down the door.
This call and lackluster response from police would set the tone for the investigation. An officer eventually did go to Mia's apartment at Arden Villas, but there was no answer when they knocked on Mia's bedroom door. When they tried to open the door, they found it locked from the inside. They then headed
That
to the
means that someone's
window
in
from
there.
outside. Please note that the police department made redactions to the video, blacking out what the officer saw inside Mia's room.
So
When they went
it's find a
around the
body?
front of the apartment, the officer was met by Mia's cousin Kaylee, who, after realizing that Mia's location was turned off on her phone, decided to take matters into her own hands and start looking for her.
Oh.
No, she's definitely not in there. But
She's not in there?
no.
Did you see like any you couldn't see inside?
No, I saw inside.
Did you see like any bags?
I saw 2 suitcases under her
Oh,
bed.
under her bed?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not sure if that's.
I think it was always there.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that.
Did you see like a teddy bear on the bed?
I can't remember now.
You want to go?
It was.
Brings it. If she was fine, she would bring
Really?
the teddy bear.
Yeah, the room, it looked clean. Does anything look out of place?
That girl got some people looking for her, man. That's why it's always good to be like, close with your family. You know what I'm saying? Have some cousins, have some brothers, have some friends, you know what I'm saying? Have people around you, bro. Because if you go missing, if something happens to you, you're going to want a little small community of people to come help for you, bro. You're going to want that. You're going to want people to be like, oh, where's Gab? I said my freaking middle name. Where's Munir, you know? Or, you know what I'm saying? Where's John? We haven't heard from him in a couple of days. You don't want it to just be like your parents, the only people that care if you're gone or not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna want like a good support system.
Yeah, like he opened it.
Ultimately, the officer left. Law enforcement would fail to recognize the urgency of Mia's case until later, perhaps only when it was already too late. With this less than helpful response from police, Mia's cousin Kaylee looked elsewhere for help.
And the security guard, Jay, was here. And we approached him, asked him if he knew anything. And he said yes, that he was here when the police were there. And we said, okay, like if you could please just accompany us so you could tell us about what happened when they were there.
Because they knew Mia's door was locked, Kaylee and Jay headed to the window that the officer had looked through.
Once we heard that the window was unlocked, we automatically knew that that was off because my cousin had installed the window locks on all of their windows to prevent anyone from opening it from the outside, especially with them being on the first floor.
Right.
When we went up to the back, he showed us the window, and we, of course, tried to avoid touching anything because we didn't want to interfere with anything. He did mention that he saw fingerprints and that he took some himself with some tape because when he asked the police officers to take some that were there earlier, they said that they were not going to.
Wow.
Because it wasn't that type of case, I guess.
It's a missing person. What do you mean it's not that type of case? We need to get any evidence that we can find to make sure that we can figure out where this girl is. Talking about we can't do that. Like, what? Y'all don't want to figure out where my cousin is?
Security guard would allege that when he tried to hand over the fingerprints, the deputy actually laughed and said, "This isn't a high-priority case."
What?
However, this allegation has never been proven.
He
Jay's
probably did do
immediate
that.
frustration for how the scene and Mia's case was handled was palpable.
And now I'm getting mad because one of y'all deputies came out here, did not do the job that he was supposed to do. Me being a security guard, I should not have had to do the stuff that I did to have an officer come out here and look me in my face and tell me to keep the evidence that was lifted off of the windowsill. Oh, a couple weeks from now, maybe we'll need it. No, you're supposed to take that now.
As strange as it was that the locks had been removed from
And that's a security guard talking to an officer. It should be the other way around. It should be the officer talking to the security guard like, you should be doing a better job. But nah.
Through the window, Kaylee could see that Mia's bedroom door had actually been barricaded from the inside by a small bookcase. Then she noticed something else that would later become
she was
integral.
hiding from somebody.
While we were back there, I was looking at the parking lot, the woody area behind
And it was
the
broken
fence.
open.
We were like, why is there a chair behind the fence? He said, oh, that's been there for a long time. And I was like, it's kind of weird, though, because the placement of it looks directly into their windows. It's kind of at a slight angle. So that was a little bit concerning. But he was like, no, that chair's been there for a long time. So I was like, okay, no problem. While we were back there, he mentioned another thing that was odd to him was that most people in the guest parking lot don't park, like parallel park in this one corner, which made sense to me because there are parking spots that go straight there. So if you're parallel parked back there, they can't get out. So he said what was weird to him is that there was a large tire track.
This all seemed to hint that some awful fate had befallen Mia, but what exactly remained to be seen.
Into the apartment, we all put on gloves and again asked Jay to come with us just to...
Security guard.
I guess with the name security, he made us feel more secure having him there.
Yeah.
We went into her room, avoided touching anything, and we immediately noticed that her room was in a disarray, very out of character from Mia.
However, even more shocking was the sight of something still in her room.
She has her decorative pillows, her sleeping pillows, and then, of course, the king of the world, her teddy. So Teddy usually sits right on the bed if he's not going with her wherever it is that she's going. If she's going to work, there's times that Teddy goes to work. Every trip, Teddy goes. Teddy's been on vacation with other people. Teddy has lived his life.
With this in mind, her family knew she wouldn't simply have left the bear behind. And yet Teddy was still in her room. This meant one thing. Mia hadn't left. She wasn't not answering her phone. And her phone wasn't simply dead. She had been taken. To her. But the teddy bear wasn't the most concerning thing discovered in Mia's room, as Kaylee explains.
When we walked in, the cubby that was blocking the door was in the walkway, and there was her chain was busted. She usually wears 2 chains, one that says her name, and then a second one that has a heart pendant. So I know the chain is the heart pendant one because the pendant was missing, and the Mia one would have 2 separate pieces. So we saw that her bangles, she has a lot of bangles, and they were given to her as gifts from like old family friends. So they're really sentimental for her. So to see them on the floor was a lot. To see them bent that way, I was like, okay, there's definitely something wrong here. Then we also noticed the blood on the pillow, and we were thinking like, of course you look at it and you're like thinking, well, maybe it could be old. But then we're like, but she would have tried to get that out, or she would have at least put a pillowcase on to cover it up, because you're not going to be sleeping.
You're not going to just have a bloody pillow just there. Like, nah, we can get a pillowcase or something.
Naked, bloody pillow.
Yeah. Right.
So that was a little bit concerning as well. After that, we continued to look around the room and found little bits and pieces that just kind of indicated that there was some type of struggle. The bed was moved. We could see the grooves in the carpet were different. They were here, and then the legs were pushed off. The bed head was kind of crooked. And then while examining underneath the bed, someone flipped over the rug. She has a blue furry rug, and found a box cutter. When we saw that, we were like, okay, that definitely can't be Mia's.
The box cutter would turn out to be an important clue, as would the item they found in the trash, a single rose. Already feeling like Mia's disappearance wasn't receiving the kind of urgent attention they knew it needed, the rest of her family traveled the same day she was reported missing to gather at the Arden Villas apartments to continue the search, knowing that this was the last place she'd been seen. They would soon have a shocking and disturbing interaction. It's unclear exactly what happened in the moments prior, but one of Mia's family members began recording when someone else showed up, claiming to also be looking for Mia. The person recording kept their phone either in their pocket or their hand covered the camera, as we can't yet see what was happening until later. We can, however, hear the mysterious person talking with various members of Mia's family, including her father.
I'm too old for this. Her friend Tati knows our relationship, I promise you. Nothing like that. Tati woke me up out of my sleep to come here to see if I saw anything, because we didn't know you guys were here. You're not hearing about it for the first time tonight. Yes, I was home for
You still have text messages?
me and her haven't talked for like a few weeks. Like I told you, I try to fall back. I'm older than her, so I don't even have her number now. All serious.
The man speaking is 27-year-old Armando Manuel Caballero. Armando worked as a maintenance man at Arden Villas, and he met Mia when the two became co-workers. In fact, he'd started at Arden Villas right after Mia, around 2 months prior to her disappearance. Now, around 3:45 a.m., approximately 10 hours.
So it sounds like he only there because Mia was there, and it sounds like he on some stalker-ish. You feel me? And plus, we already have evidence of her having a stalker because we got the the chair tilted in a way where it's, saying, looking into her room. You know what I'm saying? The windows can be open from the outside. Yeah, he definitely did it.
After Mia was last seen, and though he lived at a different apartment complex, Armando was unexpectedly back at Arden Villas. This obviously struck Mia's family as odd, but the entire interaction would only become more concerning.
Where's her roommate?
And if you're going to kill this girl and kidnap her and this, that, and the third, number one, why come back to the crime scene? Number two, why talk to the victim's family? Like, not only is that stupid, but it's just disrespectful on so many levels.
I leave inside. Because I heard you had a recent conversation with her. Like,
Though it isn't shown in the footage, Simone, Mia's aunt, witnessed something fall out of Armando's pocket when he first got out of his car, something that looked like a key fob. This would turn out to be crucial later.
Yeah, I sneaked in her wall and I dropped off the back end because I was falling. Other than that, it's just work.
you never went in the apartment to fix anything.
Before I have, yes. We had to do all the apartments.
Because I noticed a lot of stuff, because I set up the apartment myself.
I know.
And I set up certain
and
things.
I seen you move.
Yeah, and I seen you already too. I seen you be.
Trust me, bro. I got all good vibes. I'm not like that.
Nah, but
I wouldn't even came out here.
Yeah, but from what I'm hearing, I didn't hear nothing good about you yet.
Really?
I promise you.
What Armando didn't know was that because Mia was so close to her family, they immediately recognized him as someone she'd told them about.
Wow.
And because of what she told them, they were likely suspicious when he showed up at Arden Villas.
Wow. Like I said, why would you talk to her family? Stupid. Like, what? Duh. Of course, that's the one thing a female gonna do. She gonna tell her parents about you. She gonna tell somebody about you. Okay, you done been talked about to at least 5 people. You talking to any female on planet Earth, especially if she look good. You know she got a good relationship with her parents. She look good. She got her head on straight. You know she got a good relationship with her parents. And they know everything about you. Only thing they don't know about you is what they've seen from you in person. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Like that, like trying to tell her, express your feelings for her.
As a regular thing, when the property was...
How is it a regular thing if you just said that you're older than her? Why is it a regular thing if you're expressing your feelings to her? Why is that?
Now he getting pressed.
Why'd you cash out for that amount of money?
She said she had to help you.
She had to help me? My daughter would never tell you that.
On my soul, she told me that.
She would never
On my
tell
soul.
On my soul. She said that her brother...
But you just told me that you haven't spoken to her for so long.
Yeah, because that was a while ago.
That was a while ago?
Was this week.
That was a while ago?
See? You just over here getting pressed now. He over here just getting interrogated, and all his defenses are failing. You should have just stayed home.
Had complained about Armando, though he told her family he didn't have her number and claimed to have last spoken to Mia a few weeks ago. It would soon be revealed that that wasn't even remotely true.
Yep,
Mia
so now you
often
over
took
here lying.
screenshots of the things Armando was texting her and sent it either to her family members or to her friends. This included when, in the week before she went missing, Armando sent her a random Cash App payment for the amount of $600. Though Mia declined the money, she sent a screenshot of the message Armando included with the payment to a group text with other Arden Villas employees.
Wow.
Titled, "Off the Casa." Armando wrote to Mia, "Mama's good morning. I don't want you to feel any way about me giving you this. Like I said from before, you grew on me. And I feel I didn't have too much of a reason to be in your face unless I was making a difference, because I'm just a man and that's how I see it. From hearing you vent about your fam situation and hearing about how you're not able to live your life fully because of the difference in responsibility, and from the first few times I heard that, I've been planning and wanted to bless you. But it's not much, but it's yours. Enjoy it however you like. I don't want it back. Don't send it back. That was money I was putting up from turn to spend on dates or gifts for you. But I'd rather just give you the money so you could do what you actually need or want with it." Her friend responded to the screenshot. "It just sucks that he works with you because I would keep it, but if you don't do what he wants, he gonna act crazy." Mia's friend likely had no idea how true that was.
Man, bruh. Y'all want a girl, bro, sending her $600 out the blue, especially when she ain't asked for it, ain't gonna work, bro. It ain't gonna work, bro. Cause there's an old saying: how you start is how you're gonna have to finish. So if you get a girl by sending her a whole bunch of money, guess how you gonna have to keep the girl? By giving her a whole bunch of money. And guess what's gonna happen if you stop sending her money? She gonna find somebody else that spends money. Yeah. So get a girl how you want the relationship to go. Me personally, I like to see if the girl already has a interest in me, and then I'll do what I gotta do. I'm not about to just sit up here and try to persuade you the whole time, trying to get you to, you feel me? No. If you don't like me off the rip, then we good. We good. I can tell off the first few seconds. I'm not about to sit up here and make you like me. No, get out of my face. You know what I'm saying? And in the event that a girl turns you down, in an event that a girl finds you repulsive, that does not mean that you have any right to make her, to try and show her that she's wrong. It doesn't matter, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why we have so many cases where we got men over here killing females over rejection. Like, you really can't get no other girl. You gotta kill this girl because she, what?
That payment.
Because her mother didn't pay her rent no more. And when we was doing time, we've been friends already since June. And I know Rashid seen me, her, and Rashid chill. There's nothing there. I never came after hours. I never bothered her.
Did they take a statement from you earlier on?
I just found out she was missing.
You saw her today?
Just found out, but I found out a few hours ago.
And you saw her today?
At work, yes.
Have you done any work inside that apartment?
Not recently.
So when?
So who's the maintenance person that was in the apartment yesterday? Or 2 days ago? Somebody did maintenance.
You had to be there recently because you told me that you bought the fan there, so you was there recently.
This is an integral question. As Armando was in maintenance at Arden Villas, he had an assigned key fob, which could access every single apartment and that worked during business hours. For after-hours maintenance, an on-call key fob was shared among the maintenance staff, with the device in the possession of whomever was on call at the time. 3 days earlier, on Tuesday, September 21st, Armando had delivered some fans to Mia's apartment, as there'd been flooding. The maintenance request had been legitimate, but the troubling issue of Armando's access to her apartment hadn't escaped Mia's family members.
So you was there recently.
Tuesday.
So that was this
you were in this apartment on Tuesday,
I didn't
right?
do work. I just dropped the vacuum on.
Yo, bro, a parent can do way better interrogation than any cop could, bro. A parent that loves their child can do way better interrogation than any cop ever could, bro, in life. That's why, if I would ever get in trouble with the law, do everything you want to do, just don't tell my mom. Just do not tell my mom, bro. I don't got time, bro.
I had a leak from her living room to her room.
Coincidentally, like that just happened. You know what I'm saying? That just happened. That leak just all of a sudden just happened, just out of the blue. Only in her room and in the thing.
I cannot. There's nothing I can physically do to do that.
All right, and the person who went in today too went through the window too. You know what I'm saying? All right, but you got access to that place though, right or wrong? Right or wrong?
You have
right or wrong? You have access to it, right?
He know he does.
Right? As a maintenance worker, you have access to the apartment.
Yeah.
And what is your protocol when you're going into the apartments? You guys just knock and go in?
We knock 2 or 3 times. We wait. Nobody answers. We open the door. We knock again. We stab the door. We wait. Nobody answers. Then enter the apartment.
As police would soon find out, Armando isn't telling the truth here. Mia's family member, who has been recording this strange encounter, finally raises their phone and captures Armando in the footage.
So
he can be seen
right
standing next to an officer.
As of right now, you have sent obsessive texts to Mia. We have all seen the text. You talked about giving her your life savings. You cash out her money, and you claim that you weren't in touch.
Who told her gave
It's
her
on
life
text.
savings? I never
As a
said
matter of
that.
fact, we're gonna get a.
Yo, if it's in the text, then the whole, all the faces and all that, ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work, bro. If it's sitting right there in the text, then you can't. You gotta own up to it, bro.
As it would turn out, because Mia had sent so many of the texts from Armando to her friends and family, the police didn't need to pull Armando's phone records to see that something was off.
There's evidence of obsession. Of something you're fascinated with
It's
me.
not only from my side, so don't try to make this.
No one's saying that. It takes.
She's not here to defend herself right now, so
obviously
we
she's
gotta talk to
missing.
you.
So we're talking to you, who've been going back and forth
I
on
understand
text.
that. That is your family.
Right.
But until we figure out what's going on, just don't beat me up.
Nobody ain't beating you up.
If I'm guilty,
But
why
you
would I
put
come here?
yourself in the middle right here. You brought yourself over here.
Exactly.
The
Why
entire-
did you come? Talk about some just don't beat me up. Man, you know what's going on. You know what's up. Why are you sitting over here talking to this girl family after you just did what you did, bro? You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have a paper trail. You have a paper trail of obsessive text messages. You got a paper trail of being able to go inside her house and she done sent screenshots and all this extra stuff. You over here sending her $600 talking about some giving her your life savings, all this extra stuff. And then you gonna pull up and talk to the family? He wanted to go to jail. He wanted to do this and go straight to jail.
Said next did nothing but raise suspicions against him.
Let me hear
I've
it.
never done nothing bad to me. Where's the? Never done it.
The videos capturing this incident end abruptly after this, but Mia's aunt describes what happened next.
Armando got in his car. The officer never searched the vehicle. I don't know if there's procedure. He never looked in the vehicle or touched anything, told him to wind down with nothing. The vehicle took off. They went to the maintenance room. They came back. Armando then left.
After driving away from the officer and Mia's family members, Armando was seen again driving around the buildings with his lights off. One of Mia's family members noticed something else that was incredibly concerning about Armando.
Yeah, I noticed. So it almost looked like he had bronzer on because this area was like, it was puffed up and slightly bruised, like reddish. But how it was dark in the night when the light, you could see, you know, when skin is stretched to a point that it shines because you know, with the swelling.
Knowing what they did of his fixation with Mia, his return to the Arden Villas apartments the same day that Mia went missing raised red flags for her family.
Was he trying to come back to make sure that he didn't become a suspect, and in the event of him trying to do that, he just became suspect number one?
Little did they know, Armando was hiding another, even more disturbing secret. The next day, there was still no sign of Mia anywhere, and it was only now that the police would begin to take the case seriously, though slowly. Someone from the Harris County Sheriff's Office even reached out to the Orange County Sheriff's Office about Mia's case, and there appeared to be a distinct lack of urgency.
Okay, I mean, it hasn't been turned over to a detective yet because it takes up to 5 business days.
How to consider someone missing?
No, I mean, there is a case number already attached to this, and there is a case. I'm just saying that they don't have it assigned to somebody. But that does, if we make contact with her and we run her name, we know she'll be missing because she's in the system as missing.
So who knows?
So basically, we're gonna sit up here and wait. I know this is your family member, and I know you actually care about this girl, but y'all not that important. So we're gonna sit up here. We're gonna wait for somebody to come get the case if they feel like it. But in the meantime, if we just so happen to run into her, then we'll let you know.
Have a missing persons division?
This is considered a missing person, and they're not open today. They'll be open on Monday.
As investigators finally started to look deeper into the case, they spoke with Marlon, Mia's father.
So my theory as to what happened is that she was in the bathroom, maybe she was now getting home. Either she was in the bathroom or she was now getting home, and the person was under the bed. Okay. The person was under the bed, and that's where they had the box cutter and everything. And either when she came in, they startled her, or when she was coming out of the bathroom. You understand? The person who we suspect is somebody who works here. I heard about it. Okay.
Her family also gathered again, this time inside Arden Villas.
The police officers came and they said they weren't going to do anything but file a missing person report. She's an adult. They can't do an Amber Alert because she's over 18. But according to that officer, this is a typical college room that doesn't seem to look obstructed or tampered with. He said they weren't going to do much until a couple days pass and it becomes more.
If you haven't got any information, if you haven't heard from her.
As news of Mia's disappearance spread, calls flooded in as people tried to give any helpful information to aid in the search.
And what do you want to report?
We just got like a message saying that a girl had been missing since like 5 p.m. yesterday, and me and my roommate around, I'd say maybe like 7 p.m., and we heard like a girl and a guy, and they were screaming. Like,
oh man!
But it didn't sound like good screams. It sounded like really bad screams. And we actually went downstairs to see if we could like find anything, and there we heard like a woman and a man screaming at each other, like arguing in an apartment on the first floor. I don't know if this would be helpful information, but it was something that stood out to us last night. And after hearing about a girl going missing today, I figured I should report it just in case it could help.
All of this was helpful, but Mia's family was already sure they had a suspect, Armando.
Right.
Mia's family had been right. It did appear that Armando was obsessed with Mia. In one screen-recorded video, it can be seen that Armando was sending her long, multiple messages.
Look at this. Hold on. We gotta see at least one of these. Hold on, wait a second.
It can be.
This be y'all. This literally be y'all.
It did appear that Armando was obsessed with Mia. In one screen-recorded video, it can.
Honestly, Mia, there was never any bad intent between neither of us. I remember from the beginning how we both were talking about how we didn't want to talk to nobody and subconsciously ended up where we was at. You drew back, which I understand because you a woman and you know me that well, so you need your boundaries. I know I come out strong and crazy, but I was literally like feeling you like drift away, and it bothered me because a bond so natural like we had is not common. I was throwing vibes like I owned you, but it was more so of that because like I told you before, I wasn't entertaining anybody, and likewise towards you in my mind, I was seeing as we don't. He sounds so desperate. He sounds so desperate. What did I leave off at? I owned you in those words because seeing as how we don't have to act like we together, but if we got a bond of friendship, I feel like we shouldn't throw.
Seeing that our.
What? I shouldn't throw that out the window. Like if me and you had an understanding of each other, whatever happens between us, but I wouldn't mind being there for you. If you like, he's literally just wanting to be in her life. Like he's trying his hardest just to talk his way in her life. No matter what it is, they can be friends, they can be girlfriend, boyfriend. He just wants to be in her life. This is what happens, bro. When you make the opposite sex your end all be all when it comes to your happiness, bro. This is what happens, bro. When you make a female the center of your life, you find yourself sending messages like this. You find yourself thinking like this. This man, all he could think about was Mia. All he eat, slept, breathed, dreamt. He was infatuated with this girl, bro. Like for real. This right here is not healthy, y'all. If you ever find yourself in a position where you feel like you can't even breathe without getting a text message from somebody, you feel like you feel like the world is gonna stop spinning right now if somebody leave you. You find yourself thinking like that, it's time to.
I'm not upset with y'all because I know you're mentally ill Africans, which is why one day I'm going to open up a hospital because I know you're mentally ill.
Part of these messages say, quote, "You drew back, which I understand because you a woman and you don't know me that well, so you need your boundaries. I know I come off strong and crazy." After screen recording the messages, Mia sent the video to a group chat, writing, When does it stop? The issue of Armando.
It stops when you get the police involved.
Messages would come up again and again as police began interviewing her friends.
And Jasmine, can you tell me what happened in a group chat between you, Mia, and the other individual?
Yes. So basically we have a group chat where we talk about like normal things that are happening. But in this chat, there's just been multiple times where Mia like will send over screenshots like we do of like people that we're talking to or just things like that. Sometimes complaining or just having issues with like Armando sending her long text messages out of the blue, emotional messages to her even when she was barely giving him like real responses back. Sending her long emotional messages, getting upset at her for not responding to him, all types of things. And from the start, her making it clear that although she did find him attractive or whatever the case may be, she has never necessarily wanted anything serious with him. They have never dated. They've never been involved in any aspect like that.
That detail didn't seem to deter Armando. In one text to her friends, Mia wrote, "Then if I don't respond, we know he getting the paragraphs ready."
I always found it weird with that because I'm like, she's young, like she's 19, she's a freshman. I always found him to be weird because I'm like, this girl is like a young girl. She's not trying to be tied down with you, like, you know? And she made
that's how they that's what that's what these old men want, bro. I ain't gonna cap you down, bro. These old grown men be wanting these 19-year-old, 18-year-old, 17-year-old, and that's where the pedophiles come from. That's where the pedophiles come from. They'll see these girls in high school and middle school, and you'll take advantage of these girls for what, bro? Like, you mean to tell me you can't handle a girl your age? You know what I'm saying? You what? What? She too mature for you? You need the one fresh out of high school. You need the one still trying to get her life together while you already a full grown man. You know what I'm saying? That's what you going for?
very clear to him. So that's just the thing for me.
Did they ever have any altercations with each other or any kind
like
of
fights?
Yeah.
They never had any fights. He was very much a like messagey type of person. Like I never had any situations in regards to like her telling me like, oh, they got into like actual altercation. She did tell me that recently he tried to like make us not a scene, but like be petty towards her at work. He said it in a way like it was drawing attention because people were kind of like, dang, like why'd you say it like that towards her or whatever. And she was like, in the chat we were talking about like that's crazy that he's trying to like show out and call you a weirdo and stuff when he's the one that sends you long dramatic text messages every single day.
Mia sent a text to the group chat saying, "Y'all, I'm confused," and a screenshot of a message Armando sent her saying, "I don't got any more patience with you. You honestly showed me the type of person you are. Like you said, people fall for your looks. Well, I seen the type of person you are. I don't got the energy or the fakeness to tolerate giving myself to you even as a friend. We two different kind of people." Armando also texted me a quote, "Just leave me alone if you don't have no intent to show any significance in my life."
So Tuesday would.
All right, then we can just stop talking right here, bro. I don't know why dudes be trying to hit females with that whole like, oh yeah, we can honestly just break up. Like, you do realize that like you need her, right? Like you need her. It's not the other way around, bro. She got like 15 other dudes look just like you, probably look better than you in her phone right now at this very moment.
First, so September 21st was the last. And can you tell me what that message said?
Yes, so we were talking like normal. She said, I saw Armando just now. He had to bring me the blower and he was like, I think I cleared my mind enough and I'm ready to follow you back on Instagram. Because like I said, he would get overly emotional and obsessive over her. So like if she was posting and doing things and not talking to him, he would get upset and send her messages about that. So then she sent a screenshot after he left of what he said. And he basically said, everything else burnt out, but respectfully, I can't lie, I would have loved to taste you or see how it was at least once. And she said, y'all help me, what the F? Like asking what she should say to that. And I was like, what do you say to that when it's coming from a crazy person? And she said, no, for real. I'm like, whoa. And I said, I would be like, let's keep it cute, friend, because I don't know what to say. And I basically said that because...
Man, she asking the wrong people for the wrong advice, okay? What y'all should have asked her was, do you even like this boy like that? And if she said yeah, then all right, do what you're gonna do. But if he's making you uncomfortable, then notify somebody. Why are you sitting up here texting people that's miles and miles away, texting her friends? Your friends ain't gonna do nothing about this unless you're telling them to come, you know what I'm saying, and stay with you so that they can keep you safe. I mean, I get it, and no disrespect to the girl, you know what I'm saying. Rest in paradise, you feel me? But at the same time, bro, she should have known that, okay, in a situation where you're dealing with a guy that has access to your room, is clearly off his rocker. He don't got it all up there. You know what I'm saying? The lights on, but nobody's home. You dig what I'm saying? You're dealing with a guy like that. He's clearly obsessed with you. He's making comments. You feel uncomfortable. Let your boss know. Let the what's the landlord know. Let people know, bro. Don't just sit up here and text your friends, keeping it between your friends. Don't nobody know what's going on with you. And then when something happens, now all of a sudden everybody confused. Don't nobody know what happened because you wasn't opening up and letting real people know what's going on. That's exactly why the police didn't take this so seriously, because they weren't notified earlier about Armando. This is a brand new case to them that just happened out of nowhere. No one knows what's going on. The family feels like they know what's, you feel me? It's just a whole situation that could have been handled way better if everyone took the proper, what's the word that I'm looking for, precautions to make sure she was safe.
Like basically like deflecting from the talk because you guys said like we're just friends.
Armando replied to that text from Mia saying, "Right, whatever, you out-cooled me. I really didn't take no L. Why you trying to be so cool? I get it, it's over. I knew it was you making it seem like I'm making a mistake. So all the way through, I'ma let it go, just holler at you at work, bucko." But it seemed that Armando didn't take her rejection well. Mia's friend Rashid shared a similar story.
He started sending her, like, not like just like paragraphs. It was, I could swipe and read it. And it was so much to read that I was like, dang, like, I didn't obviously read through all of it, but she would show me like some of the stuff she was saying in some of the paragraphs, and how, like, and I was telling her like he's crazy and whatever. And then he was buying her all this stuff. He was giving her stuff like every week. He got her like these flowers that were in her room, the blue flowers, because she had, I guess he overheard like a conversation that she wanted him or something, or I saw it on her phone or something.
In another screenshot Mia shared,
all red
Armando
flags.
wrote to her, "And you ain't showed one concern of even giving me the opportunity to gain ground with you. If anything, every time I felt like I got closer to you, the next day or the next hour, you acting colder. This ain't the grounds to the beginning of something good. I haven't been nothing but frustrated and confused the majority of the time." Mia wrote back,
"Yo, I spoke to you yesterday perfectly fine. Then I went to, like, why do you always have to act like this? Like, can you just chill?" She don't get it. She does not understand. Y'all ever seen that show You? Like, literally it's called You. And it's about this guy who literally would like overly obsess over this girl. So much so to the point where he would steal her phone, steal all her belongings, like her panties and stuff like that. And he would literally learn every little thing about her and try everything that he could to make sure that him and the relationship was perfect. And once she found out that he was a creep, what did he do? He killed that girl and moved on to the next. Y'all gotta watch movies like that and shows like that because it shows you what's the red flags, bro.
"Yesterday perfectly fine. Then I went out like, damn, why do you always have to act like this? Like, can you just chill?" Armando texted back, "If I have no reason to act like this, then you tell me one situation where you did any gesture to validate me, small or big, to make me feel special. A bagel, a lunch, a real compliment. At least a real statement of what you think about me, because I'm really starting to think you cold-hearted." Armando's obsessive
He thinks
behavior
he owns you, bro.
As Rashid explains.
One day I opened up my apartment when me was staying there, and he was outside doing something. And I remember it because I opened the door to open the door for her, and I was gonna lock it behind her, and he was there, and she was like, "Oh hey," he was outside my apartment, just standing there. Now he was working on something, but like it just progressively got weirder and weirder, and whatever. after like time started passing and she started seeing like who he really was and stuff, she told me like she was kind of nervous that he had the keys to her apartment. And one time she mentioned that she left her house one time, the AC was working perfectly, and she came back a little while after, and the AC was broke. She was stuck on 79, and I know like the maintenance people, like I know it's easy to like to mess with the AC, you feel me? And he was the on-call person, and so I'm thinking that he like messed with the AC because
to get her
she would have to call the emergency line, which he has to respond to because it's after hours. So she said that she didn't want to call him, so she went to get another maintenance guy to come fix the AC.
As Rashid shared, Mia had a good reason to be worried.
Some of my other friends have told me like he said stuff to them like she found one of my other female friends found him like in the apartment. He was like, "What are you doing in here?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm fixing something."
So he was
I remember she had said something to her. I think it was like along the lines of, "I just want to like take a nap in your bed" or something like that. Like it's weird. You feel me?
Yeah, that is weird.
After speaking to another resident at Arden Villas, it seemed that there was a pattern in Armando's behavior.
I had just gotten out of the shower too, and I heard knocking and maintenance. I didn't want to answer it because I didn't put in a report. And then I heard the door open and I heard it close. And then when I went out, they were still out there knocking, but I did hear the door open and close. So I got dressed, opened the door, asked him if he needed anything. He said, "Did you put in a report for your dishwasher to be fixed?" I told him no.
Perhaps finally realizing that Armando needed to be investigated, police spoke to his boss, Lemuel Arroyo.
How would you describe Armando?
I would say very peaceful guy, very easy to manage. You know, I was very happy with
of course he's going to be good with the manager. So he can keep on doing what... See, that's the thing about it. The person that's the main suspect, everybody likes. So if you were to bring him up to somebody, he'll be like, "Oh, it couldn't be Armando. He's good. I like him. You sure you're not doing something? Why are you trying to snitch on Armando? He must not like you or something. That's why."
Sometimes avoid eye contact. Now all this going on made me think, why sometimes when we talking, he trying not look at me? I don't know.
Although he was known at work to be private, Armando had been in a bit of trouble before. Years ago, after setting off firecrackers in his college dorm, he lost his football scholarship as a result. With his job at Arden Villas, he was attempting to start fresh. Friday, the same day that Mia went missing, Lemuel noticed that Armando's body language and behavior was off when he received his work uniform.
But then when he left, he was shaking, even without we knowing all this was about to happen, you know?
And you've never seen that before out of him?
No.
Noel, who worked in maintenance with Armando, also saw Armando acting strange on Friday.
So he was more quiet, you thought?
He was more quiet.
Was that...
I asked him, "Yo, you okay?" He said, "Yeah."
You said the change you noticed was that he just seemed more quiet.
With this in mind, investigators take a look at the records of who used the maintenance
Y'all
key
don't got
fob.
no security cameras? Because if y'all got a security camera, then you could easily see if he even, you know what I'm saying? You could see if he went inside of her room while she was gone on that Friday. Because if you can see that, then clearly he was the person that, you feel me?
While the officer only turns on the audio of her body cam a few seconds before the following footage begins, it appears they're talking about Armando.
My biggest concern is he has right now a fob that can get him access to every apartment because he's on call. So I was going to have one of my employees just erase the fob, but the only way to do it is to literally go to each and every apartment door with a cancel key. Because unless we have the physical fob, we can't just erase it. You have to go to each individual lock and do what's called an interrogation report, and then load that to the computer, and it gives you the lock history of everything.
The worker from Arden Villas eventually gets the report on the lock history for Mia's apartment.
And he went in there.
This is that. That's my on-call maintenance fob at 4:34.
So that's before, correct?
Yes. But I don't understand why he would have been there.
We know why, because he was killing that girl. Because he was killing the girl. You thought you was slick. You thought you was slick. Obviously, they would have be able to track where you been at. You can't just over here have the master keys to the entire apartment complex. You think we don't got a way to know where you been?
Particularly damning evidence, but it only got worse. While checking out an apartment that was set up the same as Mia's, though not her actual room, the officer asks a chilling question.
So he accessed her room at 4:30, correct? There's no servers supposed to be in her room or anything like that, right?
And I don't remember if I saw that he left.
Man, he killed that
She
girl,
was home,
bruh.
so he was just hanging out. Now I'm like worried. What if he was literally waiting for her?
Yep.
They've got my head all screwed up. I cannot.
Because of the record of the key fob, it was clear that 30 minutes before Mia's work shift had ended, Armando had entered her apartment. And it also seemed that he had never left, or at least there was no record of him leaving.
Right.
Mia's key was then used to open the door at 5:06, and as the worker suspects, it looks like Armando could have been waiting for her.
He definitely
By reviewing
was,
the security
man.
footage, investigators spotted Armando driving a golf cart near Mia's apartment, which coincided with the times the maintenance key fob showed it was used on her front door.
So
They
he
also
pulled up on a
uncovered what they
golf
believed
cart.
to be the last image of Mia as she walked to her apartment just before she went missing. While
Wow.
there was the possibility of an innocent explanation, on Thursday, September 23rd, Armando had asked Mia if she would have time to talk about something mysterious on Friday, the day she went missing. Mia had replied, "What do you want to talk about?" Armando wrote back, "It's nothing big, but if your day is busy, it's whatever." Mia replied, "I'll let you know how my day goes." However, there was one other
She
piece of
should have been
evidence that
stopped
didn't
talking to
quite
him.
fit. 2 hours after Mia went into her apartment, Armando called the Arden Villa's office staff and asked to be let into the front gate as he was responding to a maintenance call that was made around 7 p.m. Just 5 minutes later, someone used Mia's key fob on the exterior lock of her apartment. It would be nearly impossible for Armando to have been at the gate of Arden Villas and then 5 minutes later unlocking Mia's door. The question was this Mia herself, and was the timeline of her disappearance a few hours later than her family believed? Or was this evidence of her kidnapper using her key fob? While the police may have still been collecting evidence, Mia's distraught family members already felt certain that they knew where to look for answers about Mia's disappearance, with Armando Caballero himself. While continuing their search for Mia, some of her family members decided to begin surveillance of their own, and they would soon uncover some of the most chilling evidence yet.
I happened to overhear Armando's address when he was giving it to the officer. And I said, I'm going to do a pit stop. Put it in the GPS, and then we continued to his house. He didn't see us at first. I made a U-turn, and I went into the parking lot across the street from him. Here's his apartment complex. Here's my vehicle facing him. That's when he started touching the indentation of his car. He tried leaving the complex last night with his lights off, and he hit another vehicle. He was touching, so his vehicle is dented.
It became clear to them that the police hadn't searched Armando's apartment yet. It was then that they once again began recording, this time catching something truly shocking on camera.
This is what we seen earlier.
He has gloves in his hands.
He has gloves.
Gloves and what else?
The blanket.
Oh my God, that is my blanket.
As they watched, Armando carried a blanket that had once belonged to one of Mia's family members and
That
that
was
had
given
since
to
been
Mia.
given to Mia into his apartment.
He knows what we look like, and he's looking to see
He
who's
walked up
following
to
him
us.
or whatever. Where the f- are the police?
Mia, Kaylee, call them back.
I'm
He's leaving.
videotaping.
Ain't no call them back,
That's
get the
it?
cops. Follow him.
I'm videotaping him. That's why I can't call.
As unsettling as this discovery was, the incident with Armando was far from over, and it would only become more chilling. Later, Mia's Aunt Simone shared with detectives what had happened after they stopped filming.
Someone's got started trembling.
Is that a cop right there?
Couldn't drive anymore.
Why he
I
wearing
just
pink?
pulled in. Another Hispanic guy got
Are they
out
off
of another
duty or
car,
something?
two
Who are these
cars down.
guys?
He came across the street. He videotaped the truck. He videotaped me. He took pictures of me. He took
Oh, wait,
pictures
hold
of
on.
my
Them ain't no
license plate.
cops.
Then he told me, get
Tripping.
out of your truck. Get out of your truck. I didn't get out. He laughed. Across the street. He went back.
I'm talking too much, y'all. I didn't even hear what you was talking about. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Malone shared with detectives what had happened after they stopped filming.
Someone's got a picture. I started trembling. I couldn't drive anymore. I just pulled in. Another Hispanic guy got out of another car, 2 cars down, came across the street. He videotaped the truck. He videotaped me. He took pictures of me. He took pictures of my license plate. Then he told me, get out of your truck. Get out of your truck. I didn't get out. He laughed. Across the street, he went back, and he does this again.
This behavior, along with the discovery of Mia's blanket, seemed to solidify, for her family at least, that Armando was behind Mia's abduction. However, this interaction with Armando would come back to haunt them in the most chilling way. Armando then left his apartment, but returned 10 minutes later. When police were able to find Armando and tell him that they wanted to look inside his apartment, he surprised everyone. He gave permission for Mia's family to search through his apartment while the police stood by.
Like a quilt type of blanket?
Like a quilt, like blanket-like thing. So if you see it, just let me know. That'll just give more bolster to the search warrant.
It appears that this frantic search was not recorded, but Mia's family didn't find her blanket.
Yeah,
it
he got rid
seemed
of
that
it.
when Armando left, he must have disposed of the blanket. Either way, no other evidence was found, as Armando wasn't arrested or even brought in for questioning. In fact,
But they literally have video evidence of him with the blanket. What does that mean? That's tampering with evidence. That doesn't matter that they didn't find it in the house. They got a video of it. So what are you talking about? He has a video of him with the blanket.
Leaving his apartment around 3 p.m. Approximately an hour and a half later, he was officially named as a suspect in Mia's disappearance. But to her family's frustration, he was already gone.
Wow.
His apartment was then secured, and at around 6 p.m., more than 24 hours after she was last seen or heard from, the Orange County Sheriff's Office released a missing persons bulletin for Mia. By now, it was becoming clear to at least some that the police knew they hadn't started their investigation as soon as they should have.
Oh, you know, check the report. I guess.
I mean, if they saw the blood and everything, it doesn't take long for...
That was the end of it. Just some miscellaneous papers and stuff. Passport, about 30 euros. Wallets, checkbook. Cards.
It was around this time that calls began flooding into the police department, but not to aid in the search for Mia, but rather because Armando's friends were calling to complain about Mia's family and their investigation.
Yesterday, they pulled up to my house. I don't know if they were following my friend Armando, because my friend Armando, supposedly he was talking to the girl that's missing. I had no idea what was going on. I came to my house, and then some fat bald guy came to my house. He was yelling at my friend, "Oh, you kidnapped my daughter! You kidnapped my daughter!" I'm like, I don't really know what the f is going on. I literally just came from my girlfriend's house.
That's
What's
not
going on?
the description of her father. That's not her father.
To my house, and then some fat bald guy came to my house.
Her father was not a fat bald guy. He was a very medium-sized, some would say skinny, Hispanic with hair. But this camera's about to run out of SD card storage, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here, man. If y'all want to get the part 2 or the last couple of minutes for this video, y'all let me know in the comments, man, and I'll end it off for you. And without further, if you guys like this video, think it's pretty cool, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the post notifications, share the video with all of your friends, and turn on some guys. Peace out. Back against the wall, I never fall, I'm trying to get involved. All the haters get dissolved. Yeah, I know I piss them off. Run up on your whip and throw a cocktail, Molotov. Shawty say I'm super suave, I'm like, that's my brother name. This ain't no Nintendo 64, the girl, I'm not a game. People told me they would be there for me, but they never came.